As much as I try to plan out railfan outings to make them as eventful as possible, the railroad always throws surprises at the railfan, forcing some quick and usually risky decisions. Such was the case on this first official outing of the year to Central Florida on January 17, 2023. Leaving the house after school around 3 p.m., we'd be heading south to Tampa to find some spots I'm checking out for a big video project that I'm starting to work on. With not much running, I turn on the scanner to hear a train call out slow clear at Plant City. Someone was turning northbound from the A line to the S line. I didn't think much of it until I heard the crew announce the lead motor as CN8823. Then we booked it to Dade City. A couple days prior, M453 had dropped this engine in Winston for a Chicago-bound phosphate train, but I guess today's 452 had engine problems, and trying to get the train out of the yard before the afternoon rush of Amtrak and locals in the area, Winston decided to tack the CN motor on, leading. To the very end, it would be a very close chase, pulling into Ashbrook Road moments ahead of 452. 3 minutes would be just enough time to get the camera recording and the drone up as our train rounded the corner, sporting an unexpected horn. While the lighting here wasn't amazing, the shadows of the forests of North Dade City would encompass this train nicely as it sped north. That horn you heard would be a rare P3 horn, almost unheard of in this region of Florida, or the whole state for that matter. About 2 weeks later, we'd be running some errands around Dade City, and we'd happen to be near the depot, so we pulled into a high green signal for a southbound train.
4518, locomotive 260, clear north into Dade City, main stop.
In 15 minutes, IO45 would call a clear signal at the north end of the siding, and in a couple seconds, he'd be cresting the hill southbound, racing towards Tampa. Two GE ES40 DCs would power today's haul of UPS trailers and containers for Tampa. Since we usually see the northbound version of this train as IO44, it's always a nice treat to see 45, especially here at track speed.
CSX detector, milepost 825.9er, speed 53, no defects. Detector out.
Now back to our outing on the 17th. We'd be packing up our equipment into the car when I'd hear southbound train M441 call a limited clear at Vitus Junction, crossing over from track 1 to the single main onto the Yeoman sub towards Plant City. He had just received a new crew and was waiting for 452 to pass before continuing south. His slow start from Vitus would give us about 5 minutes to spare as we jumped down to 78th Street in Tampa for the catch. The conductor of this massive 441 would have to manually throw the switch to continue into the yard, as instead of just pulling into the second or third track as they usually do, he'd be rolling in on the outside track, or track 4 on the timetable. The reasoning behind this was IO44, the nightly intermodal out of Tampa, had a crew and was now waiting on 441's power to begin their duties. While 78th Street sometimes seems like an overused or mundane shot, this evening's golden light would frame the two old YN2 AC44s leading 441 very nicely. As most of you already know, M441 is Tampa's main line train, running from Waycross to Tampa every day with Tropicana cars, freight for customers all around Tampa, and auto racks for Drew Park. CSX 4332 would be one of Tampa's yard switchers tonight, assembling cuts of cars for M442, the northbound version of 441, usually carrying empty freight and loaded juice for points north. We'd be losing our daylight fast, so I decided to pack up and make tracks for home. That was the plan until I heard this.
295, 17, go ahead, Yes, sir, we're here at Yeoman at New Connection here. We're trying to go downtown. Damn track on north yet, over? Yes, sir, he's already gone and released, over. Alright, well, we're at SA41.0, watch 9517. We got the engine 6537. Hey, Rodriguez, copy.
An early Y295 would be ready to depart tonight just before 5:30, so onto the Selman Expressway and into downtown we went.
295 to Alpha River Bridge, over.
Alpha.
Hey, buddy, we're ready for that Hillsboro.
All right, my brother, Lord, and I'll call you when it's ready. All right.
All right, I'll be waiting patiently.
Thanks, brother. Thanks, brother.
With the Hillsborough River drawbridge lowering in preparation for 295's crossing, I choose the 108-year-old bridge as my location. It's crazy to think that way back in 1915, Henry Plant stomped his railroad through here, and this is the same bridge that was originally put up. It's seen passenger trains, phosphate trains, and freights over the years, now earning its keep for CSX, carrying the 3 times weekly local over the river and onto the Tampa Bay Peninsula, where a handful of customers still reside. In minutes, the century-old bridge trundles back to its resting position, and downtown goes back to its laid-back Tuesday night atmosphere. With the last of twilight dwindling, I chat with my friend Barry, an avid railroad photographer here in the Tampa area. If you like seeing Y295 in Tampa, I'd check out his channel, as Tampa Train Guy here on YouTube. He's probably got the best pictures and videos of this local I've ever seen. What would be a Tuesday night railfan outing without catching L781? Our old Brooksville local would depart Tampa at a good time tonight, making it to Lutz just before 9 p.m. I'd take the opportunity to fly the drone for the first time ever in nighttime, and while it's not the best shot, I think it's pretty decent for my first try. "30 cars in all would wrap up this local and our evening in Lutz. Thanks for watching, everyone, but until we meet again trackside, this is Christian from Multicolor Films. End of transmission.